Good morning. It is Saturday. We're gonna work a little bit on the truck. I'm in the recovery phase from my heart procedure, so no travel this time around, but I figured I have a couple of few projects I want to work on, and I'll take you with me, and then we'll talk about the Rossmonster. It's pretty much 8 months that I own the Rossmonster Baja. And we're going to talk about what I like and dislike about the Baja. So, Shelby is here. Stay close. Yeah. Stay close. Yeah. Huh? You're having fun out here. And of course, there's a tree cutting going on over there. We'll have to see if that impacts the video. So, let's open up the Baja, raise the roof. I hope that the tree cutting at one point will stop, but for now we're just raising the roof, getting things ready, and then we'll talk about the Baja. I might just close the door inside and we should be good from a noise level. But yeah, 8 months, pretty much on the day. There's an ant here. Where are you coming from? You're not moving in. Let's go inside. No, let's do the awning out first. Let's have some shade. I'm looking into the sun. There we go. So the awning is one of my favorite tools or features of this Rossmonster Baja. It is so good in providing shade. Not just for me, but this awning is so good in providing shade, not just for me, but for Shelby too. So it's really nice to have it. One of the best decisions to add it to my Baja. So the tree cutting has stopped. I'm inside the Baja. The entire week was just loud. The entire neighborhood seemed to have like tree cutting scheduled for different hours, different places, different times of the day. And I know there's no coordination. It's just frustrating when you're on video calls for work or when you're trying to record videos and there's always noise. So this neighborhood, yeah, not good from a noise perspective. It's the same with the gardeners. Wherever I lived before, so much better. So I know, first world problems. So, but anyway, let's talk about the Baja and what I like and dislike about this rig. So the first item I want to talk about is the pass-through. The pass-through really has been a game changer for me. And that's for many reasons. So for one, really, it's convenient to go through and I'm inside the truck cab. So I have no problems fitting through. Yes, I'm on my knees. It's not a big deal. So I don't need like a full walking through distance like in a van or in an RV. So this works just great. But for me and the dog, this has been a game changer. And the one big reason is that the dog has her own personal space. So I built a platform here. And you can see this here a little bit. And this is all reserved for the dog. And yeah, this is a game changer. When I am inside the Baja, working or whatever I'm doing here, Shelby has her space. If she's not outside, she goes into her, I want to say room in the truck. And she can sleep there, she can look outside the windows. I have mosquito nets for the windows, so I can lower the windows and she gets a nice breeze. It is fantastic. It also makes it really easy when I'm in here and let's say I'm sitting at the table, sitting at the desk, and I want to go to the fridge and grab a drink. The dog is not in the way. Same thing, I'm gonna use the bathroom. I can walk here, I have no problems accessing anything. The dog is out of the way and makes it so easier. This was so difficult in the Supertramp. Everything I had to climb over the dog or climb over storage or climb over the couch or whatever it was never easy. Taking a shower, in the Supertramp, yeah, the dog had no space to go, so I had to kind of force her to climb up on the couch so that she was out of the way, but she also hates running water. She doesn't like the sound of it for whatever reason. So it was always a challenge. Here, she just goes in her personal space. The pass-through really has been fantastic. I would never get a rig again without the pass-through, even if the dog is gone at one point. The pass-through is just making things so easier, and I really like the security perspective as well, so that if there is a situation where I need to bail and get out quickly, I could do so. A pass-through really has been a game changer. I highly recommend it if you have the choice for a vehicle with a pass-through of some sort. Makes your life easier, be it bailing in a security situation, but also just grabbing stuff from the front. I mean, right now it's for the dog, but at one point the dog is old, so unfortunately she will be gone at one point, and I will use that platform for storage, so very easy for me to access things. The pass-through also has this curtain here. Let me show you. So, and that's an insulated curtain from Rolev, specifically made for the Baja. It has zippers on both sides, and you can seal it off. I've camped in very cold temperatures with this already, and this curtain works great to keep the cold in the truck cab and keep it nice and comfy in here. So very, very happy with having the pass-through, and so the switch from the Supertramp camper to the Rossmonster, for that alone, was well worth it. So I mentioned I'm here to do some work inside the Baja, and that brings me to the next topic, and let me show you. Let me turn the camera around. So the upper storage cabinets, fantastic. That was a big thing missing in the Supertramp, and I'm still kind of disappointed with the new HT Supertramp, the hard wall or hard top, that they have barely any upper storage in there. I get it, their thing is different, they want to have the 360 views, but I'm pretty sure there would have been ways to put a little more storage in there without obstructing the views or without making it feel cramped. It doesn't feel cramped in here. And granted, this is slightly longer than the Supertramp, but the upper storage, fantastic. So I put in different shelving and separators, and it might look a little disorganized in some ways, but I'm slowly getting there. Like this one here, I tried like an expandable shelf and not having to hard mount something. That is all working out great. Here you can see another one. I put plywood in here. Works out fantastic. So very happy with the storage. The one thing that I probably should have done, but you learn as you go, and I didn't know exactly in the beginning, is the storage itself. Yes, you need shelves in here, otherwise you give up a lot of that storage. It's not that helpful. So that's a big ticket item for me. The upper head storage makes life so much easier. I do not have to move things out of the way. It is in the storage up here, and yeah, really makes my life significantly easier. I'm probably having a lack of lower type storage. That sometimes, yeah, that's a trade-off, but I have all my clothes in here. You saw this is like a pantry. So it's fantastic to have it, and that's part of what I'm working on today. I'm putting some shelf liners in there. I have something in there, but it always slides back and forth, even though it's rubberized. But when you grab stuff, it comes off. This one I will glue to the surface of the shelf and the bottom of the cabinet. So this is simply the next evolution of try something out, like an MVP, minimal viable product from a business perspective. So I put the shelves in, and yes, the shelves work. Now we're making them look a little nicer and a little more functional with the shelf liner. So that's the project for today. But upper head storage or overhead storage, so good. I really like it. I still have some where I'm not sure, so you can see this one here is a little messy. I have this cargo net up there with holding my frying pan and holding a bug swatter, but then I also have my insulated covers for the Max air fans up here in there. So very important to have a mix of the storage. So this one doesn't have a shelf. The cargo net up on top works good, so I don't really have any concerns or complaints. It's not making any noise when I'm traveling off-road, so no problems. But yeah, upper head storage, so good, and Rossmonster really has made it fantastic. It's not making it feel cramped in here. So I've got the first one taken care of. Looks really nice, feels nice. So this will be a good addition to all these cabinets. I will do the next one up here. But I think it's time to talk about the next item that I really like in my Baja, and that is the bathroom. Let's take a look here. So the bathroom, for one, stores the toilet. I have the shower in here, so it's a wet bath. And I have to say, I personally like to take a shower per day. I usually take it when out camping at night so that I don't climb dirty and dusty into the bed. And having the permanent shower and bathroom in here really is something I totally enjoy and really like about the Baja. So for me, that's a must in any camper to have a shower, the ability to shower. And with the permanent wet bath in here, it's definitely, I want to say, very convenient, very comfortable. The other good item with the shower is that, for one, besides storing the toilet out of the way, and you see I have a small box down here right now, but overall this allows me to store some additional, I want to say, bulkier items. I'm not sure yet if I will take my big gazebo tent with me. That would fit in here when the roof is down. So that's about 4.5 feet tall or 4 feet tall when packed. It's bulky, so that's why I haven't put it in here just yet. But I'm thinking of a smaller storage box down here actually. So when I take a shower, I usually take the toilet out, would take that additional storage box out, would park them right here in the little hallway under the table, out of the way, and I can take a shower. The other nice thing is, I mentioned before, Shelby doesn't like the noise of running water. She will be in her room when I take a shower, and I can even make it easier for her by leaving this door open. The door covers nicely. It provides a little bit more, I want to say, sound barrier for the shower. And I have the shower curtain in here, so that makes it easy. And so no water is coming out. And yeah, the shower itself, it looks small, but it's a good size. So I'm not touching the curtain when I'm in here taking a shower. Let me actually step into the shower too, that you can see how I'm standing in here. So I have plenty of headspace. I'm 5'9" from a size perspective, so plenty of room to the top. I can shower without having to hold the shower head, so that is great. I have a little hook up here where I can hang towels when I'm not showering. And yeah, moving around here, I mean, I can, let's see if I can show that a little bit. Yeah, so I have plenty of space to move around. I'm just not even standing centered here right now. So plenty of room to move around, to put body wash everywhere. So the shower works great. I love it, it's permanent. It also allows me to store wet gear when I'm coming inside from a rainy walk. Wet jacket, the shoes, I can all put in here, and it runs down. I'm standing on this nice teak wood shower insert, and yeah, it's convenient. So I love it, and like I said, I need a daily shower, and I'll shower usually before I go to bed so that I'm not dusty and ruin the bedspread sooner than necessary. So I try to wash everything once a week, and so the shower helps with maintaining a clean and nice bed when going to bed. And to give you an idea of what I'm doing with the felt, automotive felt, or the shelf liner here. So I'm cutting it to size, and then I put carpet tape on the bottom, and that sticks like crazy, so that thing will never move. And now I will just slide it in, and then it will look very nice. So the next thing I really like or love about my Baja is this dinette. By default, when you get a Rossmonster Baja, it's a U-shaped dinette. So down here, there would be another seat area, and the problem with that is it reduces the leg space to a very small area here, and I didn't like that for obvious reasons. When I'm sitting in here, I want to be able to move my legs and have enough leg space. It's just like sitting in an airplane. You want to be able to move around a little bit, and the more comfortable you can make it that way, the better. I decided against the U-shaped dinette. The U-shaped dinette or seating is really helpful, I want to say, when you mostly want to hang out here. I work from this rig. So that's, for me, my use case is slightly different. I'm working full-time. I have a remote job, so I need to be able to set up my desk. And that's the other thing with this table here. That would have not been possible if the U-shaped dinette would be in place. So I decided I want to go with this sliding table, and I can lift the table here, and I can simply slide the table left and right. Makes it very easy. And so what I'm doing usually is I set up camp, I get my monitor out. I have a monitor arm attached to this hook here. I have my power cords hanging here. So they're usually, this one is just hanging down, and then I plug it into a small hub and power my laptops from that perspective. But then at night, all I have to do is just move the table out of the way, and I'm done. I don't have to take anything down. I can leave my laptop, monitor, mouse, and whatever else here. Not a big deal. The other way, you would think like, okay, how about hanging out, Christoph? What are you going to do there? So when I sit on this side here, I can actually put my legs up on this couch and stretch out my legs and just hang out. So I just slide down and slouch here on the dinette seating, and it's comfortable. Yes, it's not necessarily the same as having the U-shaped dinette where I could sit at the top end and then just completely hang out like on a couch, but I'm not doing that anyway, so that's just not who I am. If I really want to hang out, I just slouch a little bit, put my feet on the other side, and done. That's how I hang out inside the rig. If I wanted to really be comfy for a couple hours, I would go up onto the bed area anyway and watch a movie up there. So I can take my laptop up there and place it here and watch a show up there. So for me, that is more than sufficient. Otherwise, I go outside anyway. I'm not the person that watches a lot of Netflix. Yeah, I work on a computer a lot. I try to do YouTube, as you can tell here. So it's just my use case. So for me, with the sliding table and the booth style dinette, worked out perfectly. So I've done so many days from this rig already. So I'm over 80 days, I think, of sleeping in this rig. And many of those days were working days. So where I set up camp and then just work from here. It works great. I love sitting here looking outside the windows. I have different windows I can look out. So I usually sit on this side here. And let me just sit down. And you can tell I have two windows in front of me. I have this big window here where I can look outside. There's another window here. I can see the door and look outside. So depending on where I am, I have plenty of, I don't want to call it distraction, I still have to work, but you get the idea. I have plenty of light, and I always have a nice view. If I just look up and look outside, for me that is so relaxing. So just a couple of weeks ago, I went down to La Jolla and parked at the La Jolla shores at the Pacific Ocean, and I had a great view out the window. I will put a picture here that you can see what my view looked like, and that's what this is like. What this lifestyle is it about for me? I want to set up camp where it's nice. I don't mind working. I mean, we all have a job of some sort, I hope. And for me, it's like, yeah, at least I can work with a nice view. And that I find totally relaxing and makes me productive and is fun. So that's part of the reason why I wanted this rig and why I'm so in love with the Rossmonster Baja. I mean, not everything is great. There are a couple of things here that bother me, and that I will talk to in this video as well. The dinette turned out perfectly, so that's my thing. Make up your use case. And I had it from the Supertramp camper before, where I was really disappointed with how little flexibility I had inside the Supertramp. And I went to the Supertramp factory and checked everything out. And sitting in there, I was looking around. Okay, there's like cabinets here. I could mount a desk or table to it and just flip it up as an example, or hook it in, like similar to this one here. But when I had the Supertramp camper and started implementing that, it's like, oh, the walls are so thin, you cannot put anything on it. There was very little customization possible. That I decided needs to be different in my future rig, and the Rossmonster delivered. Rossmonster, the company, they listened to what I needed, and really made this work. So I'm super happy that I have this rig. I'm super happy how things have turned out. So Shelby is enjoying some doggy ice cream. That's bringing me to the next topic. Let me go back inside and we'll take a look at the fridge. This is an Isotherm fridge, the 115 liter version with the drawer style. So has plenty of space here. The main thing for me, the important part, is a big freezer compartment filled with doggy ice cream. I should probably buy some more soon, but that's the reason why I wanted this specific one and not the one with the regular door. The one with the regular door only has a small freezer compartment. This one has the larger one. So I can put in doggy ice cream for about 25 days, which is important for the dog to be happy. Because you cannot always get doggy ice cream in all the grocery stores. It's easy in summer, but in general, it's always good to have doggy ice cream. So next item on the list is here behind me, the two storage boxes. This one and this one. The Baja doesn't have much garage type of storage, so having these two storage boxes has been a lifesaver. I'm still debating if I should get a third one here for the center. I currently have my trash hanging here. I would have to relocate the Rotopax 4-gallon tank, and I would have to relocate the trash bag, but that's a story for another day. For now, it's really these storage cabinets or storage boxes have been really helpful. I even installed a can crusher to reduce on trash size for the dog food cans and sparkling water cans that I'm drinking frequently. So I'm not necessarily opening them for now. So here on the right side I have my generator in it, and here I have tools and a lot of other stuff. Actually, let me open it. I want to show you one other thing that I have been doing to make my life easier. It's less about the boxes themselves, but being organized. And that is something on my recent trip to the Mojave Desert where Nate, one of my friends there, showed me what he has been doing. And I started putting QR codes on here, and then I'm using an app to scan the QR code, and then you can put in information what's in here. So if I'm looking for a specific item, all I have to do is just look on my app, and I can find the box, or I can scan the box and check what's in here. I also put a QR code here so that I can scan the upper portion so I know what's in here. Very helpful. I also installed this shoe organizer and small stuff. Works great. Those are my water shoes, so if I have to go through a water crossing and need to check things out, easy access. Some gloves here. I don't know what I'm going to put in here, but yeah, that has been very helpful. So let's talk about a few things I want to say are mixed. I really like the outside table here. Easy to fold down. Great for setting up happy hour snacks when cooking out here. But cooking, I cooked on here once and then decided not to cook on here anymore. And the reason is that, spiderweb. The reason is when you cook on here and grease goes against the wall, it's very difficult to clean. So these are still remnants from that I have some glue gone to clean this properly. So very challenging to clean up after cooking out here. So now I have a little table that goes on the side here. Let's go over to this side here, and I'll show you the next thing I'm not super happy with. And I need to go under the truck. This one here. So for one, this is a gray tank, and this is a heating pad for the gray tank. So they're loose, they're not sitting tight. I think I noticed that this last winter already, that these heating pads just did not do a good job in keeping the gray tank warm enough. And so it started freezing up on me. So I bought some glue. I will glue those closely here, and I will put some additional insulation. I hope the camera catches it. I will put some additional insulation around here. The other thing with the gray tank is that it's fairly level, and that means it doesn't drain very well. So when I'm inside and I want to drain the Greywater tank, it's never going empty. So you almost always have to drive in some way or the other to have the water splash out, which is not ideal. I mean, ideally you want to drain the tank somewhere in a controlled environment, be it into another tank or into the drainage on the street where you're allowed to drain it, or if you're far enough from any water and you're using soap, environmentally friendly soap and stuff like this, like I do, then you could theoretically drain it there. Again, I'd like to do it in controlled environments. The fact that this is not draining correctly, for one, it's like it's never empty, which can cause some stink smell from leftover gray water in there. The other thing is in winter. So in winter it freezes, and then I had it that the valve froze, and you had to put a lot of hot water in there to unfreeze everything to get it out. So with the heating pads, that's an easy fix, and I don't necessarily blame Rossmonster for that. So it's a non-standard item, and it comes with its own adhesive. It seems to hold, but it doesn't in the different conditions. So I will put extra glue on there and put the heating pads on there, and then probably put insulation around it as well. However, with the tank not just tiny little bit at an angle that it can drain easily, that is something I already suggested to Rossmonster. Just make it easier so that the tank really empties when you want to empty it. Not that you're stuck somewhere with a tank that is still 1 or 2 gallons full. This is a 7-gallon Greywater tank. That's a lot, so that can limit your ability to take showers or use the sink depending on where you are. Like in a national park, you don't want to drain it out in the wild. So that is one thing I'm still not super happy with. I have to figure out, maybe I'll put in an additional valve on the other end that I can reach and just drain it by hand. From that perspective, so that I get it as empty as possible. So another item that I really like about my Rossmonster, again, this is custom, this is not standard, and a lot of this rig is custom. And what I'm talking about here are the outside lights. It's small, but it's pretty efficient. And I really wanted that light for a specific reason. And the main reason was, okay, I wanted some light around the rig. That's one thing. But I also wanted it for when I have to, let's say, change a tire in the darkness. And that can happen easily, I want to say. You have a flat and you get stuck. And with this light up here, I would be able to see what I'm working on and don't rely necessarily on other lights that I need to hook up. I also got stuck once at the Salton Sea and got stuck in the sand. It became dark. I was glad I had this light because I could see where I was digging, made my life significantly easier. So having this second light, I have another one on the passenger side of the truck, is so good. I really like it. But now that we're out here, let's look at another item that I don't necessarily like. And this is the light situation underneath here. So these lights easily come out. Well, this one didn't come out, but especially on the passenger side, those came out on my last off-road trip. And what happened is that when you drive a washboard road, that these lights here easily come out. And not just out from the holding, but they were hanging like this. So I'm still debating how I put something here behind it so that they don't fall out again. So not ideal. I don't know, the bumper is custom from Rossmonster. So the lights I think I've seen before. And these lights I've seen in other custom bumpers or flatbeds before. So I think that's where they're coming from. But this has happened to me several times. You can see here. These lights are not ideal. I like them from a brightness perspective and how they look, but I need to do something so that they don't fall out when I drive washboard roads, and then they're hanging out and I'm running risk of losing one. So that is something I'm not too happy with. That needs to be changed or at least improved to have reliable lighting situation and not necessarily having to check on this. So I mentioned the storage boxes before. Storage boxes are great. What happened on this storage box here is that the wall, the weld here started coming loose or broke. So, and I had to go to a local welding shop to get it fixed. I checked with Rossmonster and they paid for the repair. So from that perspective, not a big deal, but and I'm glad I was here at home. But if this would have happened somewhere out on the trail, I could have lost the entire box. And I checked with Rossmonster in regards to the weight, so I was not overweight within the boxes. So I think it's about 100 pounds, 75 to 100 pounds that they allow. And I was with 50 pounds or less on the road when this must have happened. So it's all fixed now, but I'm a little paranoid of, it's like, how much weight can I put in there? And that's the other reason why I wanted to get potentially a third storage box. But that's my recommendation, and I talked to Rossmonster about this as well. Make these a tiny little bit stronger so that something like this does not happen. And I'm probably, I don't want to say a person that pushes their Baja a little more to the limits than others. But yeah, I built this rig for off-roading, and so for me, these are things that I expect to work, especially as this is advertised as an adventure and off-road truck. And so that's really something where I want to say I was disappointed, but it's all fixed, and like I said, Rossmonster paid for it. So in the end, it's not a big deal. It has been solid, but it's always in the back of my head. I check the boxes every time I drive, and making sure that everything here is in good order. And you can see I have the other box here on the outside, a 4-gallon Rotopacks. There's a generator in there with 50 pounds or 45 pounds. So I'm around 75 pounds with that box by itself. So I've said earlier, I spent about 80 plus days in this rig already. I was a little sidelined due to some health issues. So I wish I could have gone more out in this year and do some more camping, but it's coming. So I'm on the other side of everything. Now it's really just recovery, and then I'm hitting the road again. But the 80 plus days I spent in here, I've really come to love this thing in many different ways. It's sometimes just the smaller stuff, the overall feeling in here, the livability of the Rossmonster Baja, for me is fantastic. So I would say even for a second person, if I would have a girlfriend, partner, whatever, I think is fine. You need to be more flexible in regards to how you move around with a second person. But overall, living in here, I have no problem staying full time with this thing on the road. So there's enough water, enough battery power. I have enough solar. I know that I'm a high energy consumption traveler, and not necessarily wasting energy, but I use Starlink on the roof, and this is not the version 3 Starlink dish. This is the high performance dish. It uses a lot of power. I work with 2 computers, one for work and one personal. I have a monitor here, so I consume a lot of power, and I call myself a power user. So from that perspective, it's like you can never have enough of that. So I carry a generator with me to supply or to give me the ability to camp and stay out longer where needed. So overall, that's, I don't want to say a necessarily negative impact to the livability. That's just how I travel with what I do. But the overall livability of this vehicle, it's completely off-grid capable. And that, for me, was such an important part where it's like, okay, I need enough power, I need enough water. I don't want to necessarily come in after 3, 4, 5 days and have to look for something. I carry enough clothes with me, and that's where all the storage here comes in handy again, that I don't have to do laundry every week. So I carry enough underwear, t-shirts, and all that, socks and all that stuff with me, that I can go 15 days without having to do laundry. That gives me a good 2 weeks. From a planning perspective, that makes it easy. I don't have to rush. I don't have to look for water. I'm really good with my water consumption, actually. So I have 40 gallons of water in here, and I have yet to run the tank empty. The longest I've been out without refilling water was about 12 days, I think. And there was at least another 15 gallons in there. So I probably could have gone another 4 or 5 days. I take short showers. As nice as it is to have a long hot shower, I don't do this necessarily unless I know I can refill the next day. But again, that is not a problem. For me, that is easy to do. I take a quick 2-3 minute shower, wash myself off. The shower that Rossmonster put in here has a button up on top. You just stop the water flow through the shower head, and soap yourself down with body wash, and then you turn the water back on, let it all run down, and you're clean and you feel refreshed. So that's the purpose of those showers. I shower longer when I know I'm going into town or coming back home, and just use up the water that I have. Additional items that I don't like. So, I mean, I like a lot in here. It's almost like I cannot even point it out, but there are a few items that I was not happy with. So, heating situation. I need more heat in here. So when I camped in Colorado at high altitude with 5-degree temperatures outside, it was not cold in here, but it wasn't comfortable either. So I only have, I think, one heat exchanger for the AquaHot. And I'm considering either a second, well, not either. I'm considering putting a second heat exchanger for the AquaHot in here, but also to install a diesel heater. And diesel heater comes with different problems. My truck is not a diesel, it's a gasoline driven vehicle. I would have to put an auxiliary tank in with a diesel. The reason with the diesel heater is I want to go into higher elevations. I want to go down the Pan American Highway where I will be in altitudes of up to 16,000 feet at one point. So having heat is important. And the diesel heaters are simply certified to go up to 18,000 feet in elevation. So that's a critical part. So where I'm sitting on here, that's part of the bench. There's enough room in there to put a diesel heater in. And the way how it's built, it should be fine to have the outside portion of the diesel heater underneath me. So that is something I need to put in. I wish I would have done this when I built the rig, but the price tag was kind of scary. And it's like, okay, let me try out the AquaHot first. Let's just build it that we can put a second heater in. I should have done it right off the start, but I didn't know back then what I know today. So from that perspective, if the AquaHot would have been sufficient, I wouldn't have to do it. So I found out that, yeah, if I need to go higher. The other thing is the insulation, and let me show you what I mean. The insulation in the bed area from the sidewall perspective. So there are two storage cubbies in here. There's not much insulation on the walls on the outside of these storage cubbies. So I went in, I put in sticking insulation with adhesive and some small bolts, small screws that just tap into the surface of the wood and whatever is behind there. So I put my insulation in. For the sidewalls here, the entire thing go around, I built, I'm putting up some insulated, not blankets, but an insulated curtain of some sort. I already have it. You see a little bit the black Velcro tape up on top. It just Velcros in and then it sits flush on here. And I tested it out, works great. So that is already in the storage cabinet up there, so that when I go back winter camping, I can get this out. I could use it probably in summer too if I'm parked somewhere more permanently, but it's like a 3-4 minute setup and a 1 or 2 minute takedown to put it all back in. So insulation, is not enough. So not necessarily something Rossmonster can do much about it. It's just with the way how this thing is built, you cannot have more insulation on the sidewalls. Here, the cabinets help a little bit with the airflow and protecting it, so it's warmer in this section of the camper. But over there, over the bed, it has been cold. Another thing that I did is I'm sitting here and I need to move up the camera. So I put this piece in here. It's a piece of wood that folds down when the roof goes up, and it folds up when the roof comes down. So I was sitting here and there's a cold draft coming from this. So putting that in, that wood piece, made such a big difference. So it's not insulating, but it blocks the airflow a little bit. I'm not as cold as I would be otherwise. Since the camera is up here, I put this in. I should have had ordered power outlets from Rossmonster when this thing was built. I did not. I didn't do it on any of these two sides here. I should have done it, so, but I routed power here, attached this to the cabinet bottom. Works fine, not a big deal. So easy fix. I have those cable channels here. You only notice it when you know it's there. Not a big deal. It's not even cosmetic. It's like, okay, I didn't know. fixed it, easy fix, not a big problem. So it's a lot of small stuff that I'm not necessarily mentioning. So I have an air conditioner, I use it, works great. I have the 2 Max air fans, I use those. I don't have this turned on right now because of the camera. I don't want to have the noise here. Works great. Yeah, a lot of small stuff from what I learned from my previous rig. And that's the other thing. It's like I would have not built the Rossmonster the way it is built if this would have been my first expedition vehicle. So I learned from it. The experience from the previous rig is so important. Yes, I lost some money on that previous rig, but some of this is depreciation anyway, but you never get the money out that you think you're putting into these type of rigs. And so that's, I want to say, yeah, the school of hard knocks in a certain way. You pay with money for experience. No, there's so much smaller stuff in here that I'm happy with that I did. And it's almost like I'm forgetting something to mention what I really like about it. So I love this thing. Don't get me wrong, there are some things like the heating situation to be learned, but it's all fixable. But overall, I'm so happy, so excited about this thing, and I'm so happy when I'm able to leave again later this summer and then hit the road, hopefully for the remainder of 2025 with very few weeks coming back. But really looking forward to that. I have a trip planned to Canada. I'm hoping to do it this fall. I want to visit friends up in Prince Edward Island. So until then, I work on these smaller projects like up here in the cabinets where I'm putting the felt cover in so that stuff doesn't slide. It looks a little nicer. So small little projects. I installed some red light in here so that when I camp in summertime, I have some red light in here that the bugs are not as attracted compared to the normal white light that is currently on. Yeah, another item that I don't like is the Firefly. I probably should have gone with the Garmin system. I know Rossmonster puts the Garmin in. The reason is twofold. So what you just noticed, so sometimes the system is a little buggy, and I have to turn off the main power, turn it back on, and then it works again. All I did just now was like turning off the lights, and now I wanted to turn them back on, and it's not working. So where this happened actually is, where this was an issue, was using the app at nighttime. So I was going into bed, and let me bring the app up here on my phone, and let's see if the lights can be turned on from the app. So what happened with the app was that the app didn't allow me to turn off the lights from the bed area. Yeah, the app doesn't work either. So it seems like I need to hit the master power switch, turn off the Firefly, and turn it back on. So, but yeah, I wish I would have gone with the Garmin system. I don't know if that's an easy fix to replace the Firefly. I don't know if there's a firmware update of some sort that is possible. So whenever I go to Rossmonster the next time, it's something we need to talk about. Last item of something I'm not too happy with the Rossmonster. I mentioned this already to Rossmonster. I hope this will be changed for future rigs. In my case, I cannot change it much. And yeah, the shower. I like the shower. I like taking a shower. The shower floor down here is completely level. And that is a problem. When you're parked level and this is level, the water doesn't drain very well. So, and that is something I wish the shower pan at the bottom would be just a tiny little bit angled, like 2 or 3 degrees, just enough that the water can run, and that the drain would not necessarily be just in the middle. So every time after I take a shower, I have to take a squeegee and take the teakwood out, use the squeegee to drive all the water into the drain in the shower from that perspective, so that the water's not standing. The water would drain eventually when I drive, but yeah, when you're standing for 4 or 5 days, you want the water to be in the gray tank. Plus, when you empty the gray tank, you want all the water to be out, so and you don't want water standing here. So that's another item where I'm not too happy with the situation. So it's cumbersome. So you hope, or I hope that yeah, Rossmonster is able to change this for other rigs so that other people don't have the same problem. And maybe I'm overly picky, but when you spend that much money, that's a small thing that you hope shouldn't be there, that you have to talk about it. So it's a small item. It's definitely not something that concerns me about this rig. Like I said, I love this thing to death. So I'm so eager to head out again, but there has to be something small that you can point out. So, and I've done a lot of this with the Supertramp as well. When I had the Supertramp camper, I gave them so much feedback to make the product better, and some of that is in production already. So I'm hoping the same thing here, that help others, help the companies to make an even better product. The Rossmonster Baja is awesome. I got lucky with when I ordered it. My pricing was significantly better than what you're seeing as list prices today. So I don't know if I would have been able to or willing to spend that much money on a Rossmonster Baja. That's more my financial situation. So I was able to pay for this, for the truck and for the Rossmonster Baja, with money that I had. But yeah, I paid significantly less because their pricing was very different before they switched the distribution model. So I think this video is getting very long. I will stop here. So those are the things I really like about the Rossmonster Baja, and a few things I don't like. I probably talked about the items I don't like longer, but it's not necessarily that there's a whole lot. So the shower pan, the Greywater tank, the heating situation. It's in the end, it's small stuff that can easily be fixed. But other than that, I love this thing. I highly recommend it if you ever want to buy an expedition rig and you have the funds available, be it new or used. The Rossmonster Baja is definitely a rig, yeah, you should consider. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. And then I would say I'll see you next time in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.